Howdy, YouTubers. This video is going to be about actually some repair work on this guitar, and the lick I just tried to play there, I'm going to show it to you after I fix the guitar. It's so hard to play right now. It's the action's real high on it. I'm going to check the neck relief and make sure that is set right. Well, there's a text. Somebody's got something to say to me. I'm going to make sure the neck relief is set right. Show you, I'm going to set it up to Martin specs because I looked on the internet and I couldn't find a lot about Blue Ridge. This is a Blue Ridge, by the way, a BR160. Nice guitar. It really has an awesome sound when it's got good strings on it. These strings are like 4 months old. Anyways, I'm going to set the neck relief, show you how to do that, and take some measurements and see what this action is. It's pretty high down here. It's pretty high everywhere. Probably, I don't know what we'll have to do just yet, but let's get to it. I'll show you what has to take place to get your action where it's playable. Hang on, let me get reset up here. Well, the neck had a backward bow in it, as I figured. I put a straight edge on the neck and I've straightened it already. Still got the thing in there because I'm probably going to still need it, the wrench. But to show you once again how to set your neck relief on your guitar if you're setting up your own action. And this is really high, by the way. Here's the old timer's way of checking it. If you can get 1/4 under it with a little space, there's a lot of space there. If you can get 2/4 under it, you're screwed basically. But 2/4 shoves the string up, so you can't really get 2/4 under that. But there's one under there with way too much room. I haven't measured that yet. I'll do that shortly. Right now I want to set the neck relief, so I adjusted the truss rod to get that backward bow out of it. It's actually got a forward bow in it now, which is the relief. To set your relief, you put a capo here on the 1st fret, tune it up to pitch, put a capo on the 1st fret, as you see I've already done. Then you want to put a capo on the 1st fret, come down here and note about the 15th to 17th fret. I'm going to note the 15th fret because the truss rod really doesn't do anything much on back from here back. So I'm going to note the 15th fret and take a feeler's gauge and check at the 7th, 8th, and 9th fret. Going by Martin specs, what you want to see is 0.10 of an inch from the top of the fret to the bottom of the bass string. And I hit it lucky. That's a little tight there. I'm going to go back to the 17th fret. There. Perfect. It's perfect. It's 0.10. 0.10 relief. Like I say, that's Martin specs. But I like my Martin guitar set up at this 0.10 relief, and I'm sure it's going to work okay on this one. So that's how you set your relief. You adjust your truss rod. Adjust your truss rod with get a forward bow, slight forward bow in it. Don't go too much. Put a capo on the 1st fret. I would say note the 17th fret because some truss rods do have some control back in here. This one obviously does. My Martins don't. But anyway, check at the 7th, 8th, and 9th fret for 0.10. That should not shove the string up. Shouldn't have to force it in there. It should just slide right in snugly. So there we have 0.10 of an inch for our neck relief. That's exactly what we want. Now the action is really high. I'm going to pop that out of there for right now. The action's really high, and the only other option we have is to come back here to the bridge saddle, which is very high. I'm not even going to, well, yeah, I am going to measure that too. Hold on. You probably can't see it, but it measures 9/64. That's way high. 9/64 on the E string. So the only way to get that down now with the relief set right, I took the capo off, by the way. The only way to get that down now with the relief set right is to take material from the saddle, which we have plenty of room to do, so that's not a problem. Gosh, that thing's high. 9/64. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, probably not with the light. Anyway, we got to take off of the saddle, the bottom of the saddle, to make up for that difference. It's 9/64, so I'm going to get it down. Like I say, Martin Specs is 7/64, so I like mine at 5/64, so I got to take it down 4/64 actually, which is 1/16 of an inch. So let me pause this thing. I'll loosen the strings and get the saddle out of it, and we'll talk about shaving the saddle. Hold on. Well, I got the strings off, got the saddle out, marked it before I took it out. I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of room there to remove more material, which is what we need to do, but not as much as I thought, because look, this was under the saddle to make the saddle sit up higher. So I gotta, normally I would take this, put it in a vise, and only allow what I need to take off to stick up from the vise, and then run a sander over that down to where I measure it, and I know it's flat and I know it's even across that way. But it's really cold. We're having a big storm right now, the wind's blowing, and it's like bad outside. I'm not going to heat the shop up. I'm going to do it here with sandpaper the old-fashioned way, and just sand the bottom of it off. And do away with, well, I've already lost the shim, but we don't need it anyway. Do away with this. We don't need that. I think there's only one of them in there. And take off whatever it was I said. I should have wrote down here somewhere. I have to take 4/64 off the bottom of this saddle. That's equal to 1/16 of an inch, so that's not much. But one other thing I wanted to mention, if you want to lower your action at the 12th fret, say, well, let's say 20 thousandths. If you want to lower your action 20 thousandths at the 12th fret, you take off approximately twice that much from off the saddle back here. So you'd want to take 40 thousandths off the saddle to make it drop 20 thousandths on the 12th fret. I'm working in 64s right now, so I'm not going to figure out how many thousandths that is, but anyway, just to give you an idea, that's one way to go. Be right back. I'm going to take a 1/16 of an inch off of this, and we'll see how it fits and get it ready for new strings. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, and we have shaved the bottom of the saddle. I should have mentioned, well, I'll mention now, I only took off 3/64 off of the bottom of the saddle because of that shim that was in there. I was figuring 4/64, but with the shim, didn't need to take that much. So I have taken off 3/64. That's less than 1/16 of an inch. And I'm going to put the saddle back in and put strings on it. And that's the only way we can fine tune it Saddle really fits in there nice and snug, which is good because it carries sound better. So we took 3/64 off the bottom of this, and we need to put strings on it, tune it up to pitch, and check up here at the 12th fret. What we want right here, and like I say, the Martin specs on this bass side is 7/64. I like 5/64 here, but anywhere close to that I'm going to be happy with. So let me put strings on it, and then we'll take some more measurements here at the 12th fret. We may have to take some more off of that thing. And you want to double check the neck relief, check it many times as you do this. You want to make sure it stays at 10 thousandths or very close to that around the 7th, 8th, and 9th fret. That's with the capo and the 17th fret, and you know what I explained before. Anyway, let me go get some strings, and I'll be back just in a few. Okay, so we got strings, we got the saddle shaved, we got a set of these on it. MSP 4200 medium, 0.013 to 0.056 is what I use. And I have to say, Peterson tuners friggin' rock, man! We may be at 6/64 since I put more relief in the neck because I like a little volume when needed. So, to recap, we set the relief in the neck at 10 thousandths. We took 3/64 off the bottom of the saddle to get the string action down to 5/64 or almost 6/64. It's really close. Martin recommends 7/64, so we're in the middle of Martin specs and what I prefer, and I'm okay with that. That's absolutely fine with me. Hold on. One thing I should have mentioned before, you should always put the same pegs back into the same holes if you can. Strings are different size, and the 6th string is bigger than the 1st string, and it wallers out a bigger groove in the peg and the hole, and you just should always try to put the same pegs back into the same holes if you can. For all you acoustic lovers that didn't know that, that's a very good idea. So, we got, yeah, let me cut this shit off. We got new strings, we got new action. Relief is set correctly. And I think we're finished with this guitar. The only thing we need to do now is stretch those strings out maybe a bit and play it. So let's see what it sounds like. She's right now, I'm telling you. Got the relief set right, got the action set right. We're very close to where we like it. So I guess all that's left is the lick. And I'll show you a little exercise you can do too. I know people will usually hate exercises, but they're very good in helping develop your technique, and especially your, well, both hands actually. It's very good for both hands. Anyway, the lick that we started this thing off with. get an idea of what's going on. I'm going to be in a bind here again, holding the guitar up here funky. The lick's pretty straight ahead. It's fairly simple. Starting off on the first string, 3rd fret. I guess you could do that as long as you needed to, but the lick goes. You can pause the video in between segments and figure it out, back it up, or whatever you got to do. Okay, after the alright, I'm trying to break it up for you. Let me do it really slow, if I can. That's a hammer on, sliding on the 5th string down to the 5th fret, and then barring 4 and 3, and hammering the 3rd string from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret. If you watched any of my earlier videos, that's a Tony Rice lick that he often plays with the timing on. Like that. It's just throwing it a little bit out of time. This is in time. This is out. So you get the idea. Anyway, back to the lick. So there you go. There's you learned how to set your own action, save you a bunch of money. You learned again how to set your neck relief. It sets at Martin. If you go by Martin specs, it sets at 10,000 at the 7th, 8th, and 9th fret. Roughly in that area, you should read 10,000ths of an inch. That's with a capo on the 1st fret, noting the 17th fret, and using a feeler gauge to get into those 7th, 8th, and 9th frets. 10,000ths on that, and like I say, I like my action at 5/64ths. We're set at roughly 5 to 6/64ths on this guitar, and 4/64ths on the treble side, which is okay. I'm not going to notice that difference this coming weekend, I'm sure. friends, hope that helped some of you out there. At least you learned how to set your action up and your neck relief and your saddle and all that good shit. So the next video probably is going to be a my review on that Fisherman Eclipse system. It's a bridge pickup and a microphone, both together. They work together, and you can balance between the two of those. It's a real nice thing to get a true acoustic sound. So the next video will probably be on that, probably. You know, unless we get another 4 feet of snow. I might do another snow video. It's storming outside right now and the wind's blowing really hard. I'm surprised power stayed on. Anyway, look for that. And, oh, one more thing I wanted to show you, an exercise. I'm learning this myself. It's in G, and it goes... Just a scale is all it is. There's 7 notes in a scale, 8 if you count the octave that starts it over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the scale goes, and it just keeps going. Then backwards. Half of it. Then backwards. I'm just learning this myself, so, but you get the idea. It's a really good exercise for the left hand. It's a good exercise for the right hand if you pick, flat pick the whole thing up and down each note. So there's you some things to work on, maybe some things to learn, and like I say, the next video will be on the Fisherman Eclipse bridge pickup with a condenser mic inside the guitar in the hole. It's a really nice, anyone that plays acoustic guitar should at least check those out, because after you see my review, you'll see why. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers, the old ones, and hopefully more to come. Hit that subscribe button right now while you're thinking about it, because a lot of good stuff going to be coming your way. Information, tips, and tricks, and licks, and about everything you can think of. Thanks again for watching, folks. Cheers. And I have to say, Peterson tuners friggin' rock, man.